Right now on Denver 7 News at 5 o'clock, a Colorado man testifying on the role of extremism in the deadly riot on the U.S. Capitol.
This could have been the spark that started a new civil war, and no one would have won there.
We are breaking down shocking testimony and the other bombshell claims from the latest congressional hearing on the attack.
Come this way! Come this way! Leave your bag!
Flight attendants calling on passengers to move out quick, with first responders pulling up to this plane at DIA. We're learning more about the incident from the airline.
And it's all in the family for the McCarrs. Cale McCarr's younger brother takes the ice with other pro hockey hopefuls. How his siblings' Stanley Cup win is now inspiring him. The Avs drafted him last year, so wouldn't that be cool if they could hoist the Stanley Cup together? What a sight that would be. Thanks for joining us. I'm Brian Sanders.
And I'm Jessica Crawford. The third supermoon of the year lit up the night sky. Oh, how beautiful is that? July's supermoon is called the Buck Moon, and we're seeing plenty of your photos. Keep them coming. You can share your own on our Facebook group, Discover Colorado, through your photos. Lisa, we saw the super moon. Pretty soon we're going to be seeing the super sun.
You're right. Yeah, it's going to get hot. Those pictures does not do justice on my iPhone. So thanks for sending your pictures in. We've got some pretty clear skies, and good to see that super moon overnight with those clearing skies. Yesterday we saw a few thunderstorms roll through. This morning, fairly dry conditions. You're going to find temperatures early on nice and comfortable, low to mid 60s right now. But yeah, things are going to really start to heat up here. Take a look at our hourly planner. We're going to be in the low 90s here by about 12 o'clock by noon. And then highs will be anywhere from about 95 to near 100 from Denver to Fort Collins. East up toward Greeley and Sterling, you're going to see some near triple digit heat. Evergreen 84, Estes Park 82. So the heat returns. It was nice to get a little bit of a break earlier in the week. Now it's going to get hot and stay this way. Now we'll take a closer look at the chance of any cooling thunderstorms this afternoon coming up.
And the overall drive looks okay. Had a pretty serious crash in East Denver, Colfax and Steele early this morning. You might still see some officers out there, but I'm not seeing any significant delay. The one delay I had again was I-70 right here in that lowered section through that tunnel. Take a look from the camera over there, and they have released traffic, so it's moving on the west and eastbound side. There is a lot of work going on right now in the new tunnel, and they are getting ready and closer for that eastbound switch from here into the new tunnel. That happens this weekend with a full closure of eastbound I-70 Friday night. The rest of the drive you can see not only there but across 270 and I-25 up to the north all looks great. No other issues around town, whether it's out to the west side or the east side. Nice quiet start here to the morning drive. Yeah.
So we take a live look at Capitol Hill this morning, and we are unpacking all of the highlights from the latest January 6th committee hearing in the U.S. House. One of the speakers was a Colorado man, Jason Van Tatenhove, a former national spokesperson for the Oath Keepers. However, he left the extremist group before the riot. Denver 7's Veronica Acosta is taking through his very candid testimony this morning. He had some strong words, Veronica, about his former group, even fears about America's future.
He did, and Van Tatenhove said that said the violence and the bloodshed we saw that day could have been a lot worse. He said the Oath Keepers were preparing for a civil war and imagined if President Trump had invoked the Insurrection Act, they would have positioned themselves as a legitimate paramilitary group.
I think we saw a glimpse of what the vision of the Oath Keepers is on January 6th. It includes violence. It includes trying to get their way through lies, through deceit, through intimidation, and through the perpetration of violence. What else is he going to do if he gets elected again? All bets are off at that point. And that's a scary notion.
Van Tatenhove wasn't at the riot. He left the group because of its racist beliefs and denial of the Holocaust. We did speak with a friend of his who says testifying is his way of working with the system to make things right.
Jason realized that they were actually like Holocaust deniers and beyond. So it was like he got seduced into this hate group thinking they were constitutionalists when really they didn't have good intentions at the heart of what they were doing. So when Jason saw that, he was able to get out of it, and now this is like his whole redemption process.
And the Southern Poverty Law told Denver 7 that this kind of thinking is easier spread these days by things like the internet. They suggest making sure that your media literacy is much better and checking your sources, of course. In Denver, I'm Veronica Acosta, Denver 7.
Veronica, thank you. Van Tatenhove's words were just a fraction of the bombshell testimony. Former White House counsel Pat Cipollone described a meeting at the White House in December of 2020. He said there Trump allies suggested Trump should issue an executive order to seize voting machines. Cipollone says the president was getting bad advice.
To have the federal government seize voting machines, it's a terrible idea for the country. That's not how we do things in the United States.
When the meeting finished, Trump tweeted his supporters to come to Washington on January 6, saying, "Will be wild." Stephen Ayers, an Ohio man who pleaded guilty to participating in the riot, testified that tweet from Trump inspired him to travel to Washington.
Basically, the president, got everybody riled up.
The committee ended yesterday's hearing by revealing former President Trump may have tried to influence witness testimony after calling a witness not yet seen at the hearings. That person did not answer Trump's call and alerted their lawyer instead. The committee supplied the information to the Justice Department. The committee's next hearing is next Thursday. We have more coverage of the January 6th committee right now over at the denverchannel.com, and you can also watch our in-depth coverage on the free Denver 7 Plus app.
Shocking and disturbing new video shows how police responded to the Uvalde Elementary School shooting. You can see the gunman enter the school walking casually with his gun. The gunman then starts shooting into classrooms. 3 minutes later, you can see 7 armed police arrive. Once they hear shots, though, they retreat, running back down the hallway to take cover. 45 minutes after police arrive, the gunman fires even more shots, and police start to move down the hallway again, but they stay outside of the classrooms. As they wait, one officer uses the hand sanitizer dispenser. 74 minutes after police first arrived, officers finally breached the classroom door to kill the gunman. Texas authorities had planned to release the full unedited video this week. This edited version was published by the Austin American-Statesman. Some heartbreaking news out of El Paso County this morning. A 6-year-old boy has died after he was bitten by a rattlesnake. Denver 7's Christian Lopez joins us this morning because so many families are headed outside for summer. They're hiking, they're biking, but we all need to be on alert this time of year.
Yeah, Brian, and while snakes are out during this time of the year, bites are rare. Simon Curat was out enjoying a bike ride with his dad and younger sister when this all happened. It was at the Bluestem Prairie open space in El Paso County, the kind we have all over the Front Range. The boy took a break to walk over to a sign, and he was bitten by that snake on the way back.
He yelled rattlesnake, and then that's when the dad dropped everything and ran over to him, and we believe then that's when the bite occurred.
His dad didn't have his cell phone with him at the time, so he had to flag down another person on the trail for help. Paramedics were on the scene within 5 minutes. They got Simon to a local hospital and then later to Children's in Aurora, but he died Monday. The best defense against rattlesnakes is just being aware of your surroundings. Don't wear headphones on the trail, and just be extra cautious in the morning or the evenings because that's when snakes are most active. And if you are bitten, get a photo of the snake to help identify it, and do not try to suck out the venom.
Best thing you can do, keep the bit limb below your heart, and then take off anything that might constrict blood flow. So rings, watches, wristband, things like that, and then get to a medical provider as quick as possible.
And officials say that most bites happen on the ankles, so if you do go out and about on these trails, it's important to make sure that you wear boots with heels on them to stay safe. Live this morning, I'm Christian Lopez, Denver 7.
This morning we have new information about a terrifying situation on a plane that landed at DIA. This is video from a passenger.
Come this way! Come this way! Leave your bag!
Of a chaotic scene as they tried to deplane. This flight had to be evacuated quickly after a fire broke out under the plane. United Airlines says the brakes overheated. The pilot ordered everyone to exit the plane as quickly as possible. Some passengers had to use the emergency slides to get off. Others used the jet bridge. Thankfully, no one was hurt.
Twitter isn't keeping their anger at Elon Musk in drafts. The new lawsuit the company is filing against the Tesla founder.
Also, reservations now required. The latest Colorado park asking you to plan ahead before you visit.